This house, close by the Blessington Dam on the lakes, was once a tourist hotspot when the era of the steam tram was in full swing. This was the terminus of the tram when people used to flock out to see the amazing Poulaphuca Falls on day trips from Dublin. Those day trips would start when passengers got on the tram in Dublin terminus at Terenure and headed out to Blessington, with the journey hopefully taking under 2 hours.
I think it was around 7 bob or 7 and 6 to go into town, that's return. But that was only to Terenure, and then the Paddigan bus come on, and I think your Blue Line or some of these. And sure, I think it was 1 and 6, or 1 and tuppence or 10pence or something like that, and 10pence back into the middle of the city. Now, what would you opt for?
The tram was it was the upper deck of it. It wasn't covered in, and like the fumes and that coming from the funnel had probably gone in it to destroy them. And then one of the other carriages then, it was for bringing animals. There was another one, the carriage then to would bring sand, and then the other one then was for goods and then the passengers.
Bread and all used to come on the tram. All the groceries. And Brian Clark, there the next time, he used to be delivering the bread, Boland's bread for us. And he'd be up there, the hampers would be on the tram, and we were often up there loading with him, and you know, and it was Bob's buns on the job, and of course we were always in.
But in Blessington itself now, where the traffic lights are near Super Value, you'll see the old tram marker there, and that divided there was 2 tram companies. There was the Dublin Blessington Tram Company, and then there was the Blessington Poulaphuca Tram Company, and that was the dividing line between the 2 companies.
The Blessington to Poulaphuca tram began in 1895, extending the line out to Poulaphuca, trying to cash in on the growing number of day trips to see the powerful Irish Niagara Falls, as it was described before the dam was erected, with its iconic Nemo Bridge. And a drink or two at the nearby Poulaphuca Hotel.
When the tram started, people come out, you had the waterfall at Poulaphuca, and you also had the Liffey, which was a great attraction. And like there was poems written about the tram, like there was people in Thomas Street that their week's wages went on the boozing at the weekend with the tram. Poulaphuca House benefited greatly by it. They used to have the dances just overlooking where the fall is. It was known as the Madhouse. There was only a tiny little railing, and it was a sheer drop. Like if you were inebriated, you'd be mad to go down near it.
But the tram had a notorious safety record. Unsafe open carriages, people sitting on the rails, and the constant issue of sparks from the boiler starting fires at the roadside are just some of the problems.
But like, there was no tears shed over the tram now. Don't let anyone tell you that there was.
If you see the photographs at the upper deck, it was a kind of a carousel stairs, and the tram, it'd be wobbling, and when they were coming near a bend, they'd miss their footing and they'd fall between the carriages.
So many people were killed and crosses put up to remember them all along the route, that the tramway became known as the longest graveyard in Ireland.
Yes, the men used to lie around and be drunk or something, and it was all crosses all along the whole way. Kind of people used to put up a cross to where the man was killed. He'd be killed. He'd be lying there and he'd be killed, you know.
Yes. During the First World War, fuel was scarce, and they would turn off the engine and the freewheel down the embankment. And the tram come on them unexpectedly, and they'd be killed. More of them then, there was a couple of pubs on the way, and at closing time then a lot of them would congregate outside and they'd sit on the tram line, and they'd be too inebriated to get out of the way. So That was another reason.
There's a place in Templeogue they call the Morgue. Do you know the pub? Well, they call it the Morgue because that's where all the people that was killed on the road that time were brought to.
The morgue in Templeogue was named from that time, when the notorious serial killer, the noisy steam train to Blessington, passed its doors and gave plenty of reasons to live up to its name. The sign hanging from what was the tram terminus at Poulaphuca today still records that it was the bus that won out over the tram. The Poulaphuca tram ended in 1929, and then the last tram left Blessington at 6:15 p.m. New Year's Eve 1932. Amazingly, carrying a Mr. Billy Hornridge, who was also on the very first tram from Terenure 44 years before.